What's up, dudes and dudes here? My name is Scyushi, and we are back with more. Sorry this video is so late today. I did end up making a community post talking about it. I had the dentist, I had a bunch of other things. Are my teeth good? Hold on. Do my teeth look better? Do they look good? So today we're going to be doing the video guide talking about the new event, which, what the heck is this event called? Elysian Offensive. That's a weird title for an event, isn't it? Is that a new dragon? I don't think it is. Apparently a whole bunch of packs got leaked the other day. There was like 12 different store packs that showed up in the like new tab that weren't supposed to, and then they got removed. I didn't get any screenshots of any of them. I just heard from you guys that it happened. So anyways, this new event is, I mean, it's pretty good. It's kind of, yeah, I don't know. Let's get on with it. Meet with Taurine in the hub. That's going to end up being this idiot right here who looks like he's falling asleep. You just go and interact with him, and then it completes that part of the quest line. I don't think you get anything for most of the quest lines, but well, you get like coin or event tokens or something. But anyways, then it wants you to place Elysian Offense Standard on Trove. Yeah, whatever the heck that means. So basically in the Radiant Dayspring, there's all these different things that you can end up crafting, right? This is the offense standard. So it's basically going to end up being this piece of paper, and I'll show you guys a screenshot of it. Basically, you'll go into different biomes in, different adventure worlds. I'd recommend Jurassic Jungle. That seems to be the best one for this part of the quest. Basically, you find one of these logs that doesn't have anything on it, and then you end up throwing one of these signs into it, and then it looks like this. Whatever, okay, cool. They want you to do that to 15 of those banners, and the reason why it says throw it to them on Trove is because Trove itself, the game, like as far as the devs lore is concerned, all of these islands are Trove, and then this area over here is geode. It's like a completely separate area. Anyways, you get 100 Elysian Offense coins. Let's just call them the event tokens. So they want you to place the Elysian standard banner thing in geode. So those are going to end up just being super duper easy, found in geode topside. There's tons of them. So long as you have the quest line that has you trying to put down the banners or whatever the heck they call them, the Elysian Offensive Standard, the standard, whatever, the signs, let's just call it. So long as you have that as your active quest line, your main compass in the top middle of your screen is going to end up pointing towards the objective. If there's one nearby, it's going to show up as a purple exclamation mark. So anyways, put 15 of those standards down, and then you end up getting 100 Elysian Offense coins. And then the next part is to return to the hub and speak to Trinitral Toluene again. So you just go and talk to this idiot. Nothing happens. And then it wants you to use Radiant Dayspring to craft sun seals. I don't know if they corrected this with either the event or the crafting table itself. They're talking about the solar seals. There's a little bit of a mistranslation. Well, translation. Somebody who wrote this forgot what the item was called. I mean, I don't blame them. They've got such weird names in this game, but the solar seal is the sun seal. They just want you to craft one of these. These are basically going to act as bombs. So the way that you'll end up using them is when you use them, they'll kind of make an explosion around your character, which explains why they take bombs, but they'll take a bunch of the coins and stuff like that and blah, blah, blah. You'll see what they do in a second. So it wants you to first and foremost defeat enemies in the Everdark. So this is the biome that you've probably only ever been to once, or maybe a handful of times to get different class gems. Other than that, though, there's no reason to go to U9. Always just go to U8 and kill 50 different enemies. And then, the enemies within the Coliseum do count. But you're going to find a lot of enemies just out in the overworld. That's a lot easier for you. So once you defeat 50 of them, you'll get another 100 of the event tokens, and then it wants you to defeat the Alpha Invaders. I'm pretty sure I have footage of this, so I'll try to insert it. But basically, these guys are going to end up having a barrier, and you have to use the Sun Seal or Solar Seal in order to fart and explode their barrier so that you can then kill them. Now, the thing is, there's going to end up being world invaders that, you know, every 8 minutes an invader comes down from the sky. You've probably seen this in normal vanilla Trove worlds. But the Everdark has these characters, you know, the invaders come down every 8 minutes, and they are going to end up being these alphas, right? So that's the one way you could end up killing them. However, during this event, we've got 1-star dungeons available within the Everdark, and some of those dungeons will actually generate with an alpha as the dungeon boss. So just keep in mind the objective for the dungeon that shows up over on the right side. If it says like kill an alpha or whatever, then you know, oh, there's an alpha inside this dungeon. So that's how you can end up getting that done. But again, you're gonna have to fart and destroy all of their barriers in order to end up actually damaging them in the first place. But anyways, once you defeat 5 of them, you'll end up gaining 100 more of the tokens. And then it wants you to complete solar offensive daily adventures. Now, during this event, we've actually got 6 different daily quests, which is pretty dang cool. These are very, very easy. So this one's just defeat alpha invaders, defeat obelisk dungeons in the Everdark, which is the 1-star dungeons. You're going to be fighting for invaders or for alphas anyways. Place Elysian Offensive Standard in Trove and Geode. He's unsure, but either will work. And then this is just fishing in the Everdark, which we'll talk about that momentarily. And then this is placing the offensive standards in the Everdark. Now, standards, sorry. Now, the thing is that these guys, again, if you have this guy's quest as your active quest, then it will show you where the standards are and highlight them when you're in the Everdark. So just make sure that you have this guy's quest highlighted when you're in the Everdark, and then this guy's quest highlighted when you're in Trove or Geode for, you know, their quests. And then, of course, lastly is just defeating enemies in the Everdark. It's all very passive. The only thing is you're gonna have to go here, do a bunch of standards, and then everything else can be done in the Everdark. Now, the thing is, in order to fish in the Everdark, which is one of the objectives, you're gonna have to have either the Alpha Angler or the Elysian Fishing Rod, which you should be able to craft at least one of these by now because of the amount of tokens that you end up having. The 1-star dungeons in the Everdark will have a tiny little pool on top of them that will allow you to fish in it. The pools will change based on the cube colors that are generated on top of the dungeon. So it can generate with water, lava, and chocolate, for example. I think it can be the neon liquid as well. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, complete all 6 of the daily quests, and then you'll end up getting the cleansed lunar drop, which is a required crafting item for the next step. The next part of the mainline quest wants you to craft the Elysian Rally, which is going to end up being this bad boy right here, which requires the cleansed lunar drop. Now, what this does is makes it so that your basic attacks will remove the protective shield from alphas. So you no longer have to keep crafting these. Make sure you didn't craft like a ton of them. But anyways, once you end up crafting that, you'll finish the event and you'll have another 100 tokens to spend. Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting, because as far as the items that you can get out of the event in general, it's going to end up being Buddy the mount, which I can show you guys this momentarily. I'm invisible on my night, that's okay. So this is going to end up being the mount, which, I mean, hey, whatever, he's cool. He is a reskin of a PvP mount, which means that if you end up using him while you have a banner equipped, he's gonna have the banner in his mouth. He doesn't really have any other functionality other than that. I mean, I don't know anyone who's going to be like, oh my God, I love it. But, you know, it's kind of whatever. And then there's going to be the Buddy Guard, which you can see. Here's the stats of it. Here's someone else who volunteered who actually had this ally crafted. And I mean, generally speaking, this is a pretty good event ally just because of 250 light, the 20% physical damage is very, very nice. And then summons Taurine sometimes to aid you in battle. Okay, cool. And then there's the other ally, which is basically the exact same thing, but it's going to end up being magic damage, and it's going to end up summoning a different NPC, I guess, to help you in battle. But basically, that's going to end up looking like this. Again, somebody else volunteered to show me what it looked like, just because I don't have these crafted yet, just because the sheer amount of tokens that we're going to have in order to get all of these. And then, you know, there's going to end up being the 2 fishing rods, which are fishing rods, who cares? And then all these other items, these are from previous events. You know, that's why I already had them. But I mean, I guess I may as well show you them. There's going to end up being the Shadowbound Wolf, and I'll talk about the other craftable, you know, the other items that you end up getting in order to craft these, like the saddle and blah, 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 and even where you can continually get more tokens. So there's going to end up being the wolf. Kind of cool, whatever. And then there is going to end up being the Corrupted Wolf. I remember this one actually from, was that last year or the year before or something? I don't know. It's kind of cool. Okay, now what are you going to be doing post-event? Once you've finished with the event, once you've gotten all the things for yourself, then what do? Well, first of all, getting these tokens, by completing the 1-star dungeons in the Everdark, you'll end up getting a chance of having 5 tokens drop. It's not guaranteed every single time, which, just to put into perspective, let's just say that like me, you've got, you know, the mount already crafted and you need to end up getting the 2 allies. So that's going to be 500 of these coins total. That would be 100 dungeons if it guaranteed dropped every time. You're probably looking more at like 130, 150, maybe even 200 dungeons if you're super unlucky. I'm assuming this would be able to be done in, I don't know, let's say under 3 hours of just solid grinding in order to get all of these. Or you could just wait for the daily quest because they're going to give you the most coins anyways. It's just that it's time gated versus just going out of your way and farming the dungeons to an infinite degree. Now, the interesting thing is that nowhere in the quest line does it ever talk about this guy. So the Moon Quartermaster is actually, this is the first time we've ever had something like this happen in Trove, which is quite interesting. I don't know if I like it or if I dislike it. I think that it's kind of cool. It's kind of reasonable. So in order to get tradable versions of all of the event items, you can interact with this guy and you can buy the items for the event tokens at double the price. So it's going to end up costing you twice as many tokens to craft Buddy, the mount, versus the 500 it would be cost in order to craft it for yourself. And then I should also mention that the saddle resource right here, that's literally just something that'll drop out of the Everdark. You'll end up getting quite a few of them, so it's not, you know, it's not difficult to get them. You can buy an infinite amount of the offense coins for 1 saddle each, which is kind of weird. But with the amount of saddles that you end up getting, you actually end up getting a decent amount of coins as well. So that kind of adds on top of the 100 dungeons that you would normally have to do. The saddle should even it out to give you all of the extra coins that you need in order to craft everything for yourself. You could get the Hearts of Darkness if you absolutely don't need anything else, but I want to give you guys a reminder that these allies are actually really good for starting players and such. And even for people that are at the mid to end game, if they don't have some of the best allies, you know, because they're out of the star chart, these are actually very good. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because, again, these are tradable versions of all of these, and they are going to be expensive. You could sell them now if you want, or you could wait until the event is gone, and then you could start selling them, and you'll probably end up making bank. So just wanted to let you guys know about that. Again, a quick reminder, the saddle is just a random drop from Everdark enemies. The coins will be from the dungeons at, you know, random intervals, and then otherwise all of that stuff is going to be tradable, but it's a lot cheaper to craft it in this table if you just want the items for yourself. Anyways, with all of that said, thanks for watching. Smash like, sub for more, buy the merch you want to support the channel, and have a great day.